Welcome back, crafters, to Angela's Craft Room. I've come back to you today with this tutorial on this box that I showed you in a previous tutorial. I was showing you how I make my flowers with the botanical builder, and I said I'll come back and just show you how to make this box. It's quite a decent size box, and you know, you could put chocolates in it or anything and just make it your own. And I just want to show you how we did the stamping before we actually did the scoring. Now, the ideal of doing the stamping first is so that once you've scored, your design is going to flow smoothly over those scored lines, and it's not going to be like a indentation sort of thing. So let's get started on that. So to start with, to make the base of the box, I'm using a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock, and that measures 9 inches by 8 1/4. And then for the lid of my box, I'm going to be using Sweet Sugar Plum, one of the new in colours for 2016. And that is Sweet Sugar Plum, which I love. It's my favourite in colour. I just love it. Okay. Now, normally I would use my scoring board to score, but I'm just going to use my scoring blade on my trimmer because it's just a bit easier for the video. So I'll just bring in my trimmer so you can see there, get rid of my cutting blade so I don't do something awful. Extend that out. Okay, so I'm going to take my Very Vanilla piece and I'm going to score on the 9-inch side, so make sure I've got the 9-inch side, which I do, and I'm going to score that at 2 inches. So just line that up there, and I'm just going to score that at 2 inches. That's step 1. So now that's all the scoring we want to do at the moment. Now we're going to stamp the images using, I'm going to be using the Touches of Texture stamp set. So I'm going to be using this stamp set here, the splattered one here, and the little flower there. I think that's about all I'm going to use on that, out of that one today. So it's just to show you. So what we need to do then is turn a piece of cardstock, and this is the scored line going across here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but the scored line that we scored at 2 inches is going across here. So we've turned our paper there, and we're going to stamp across there above the scored line. Now, it doesn't matter if a little bit goes under the scored line, because this is going to get cut and get folded at the end to make the bottom of our box. Okay, so a big rule is not to stamp, in a straight line. We want it to, we want the flowers to be going up and down, not in a straight direct line. So I'm just going to take some soft suede, like that. Now it's going to stamp the first one off the page a little bit, and then the next one, as you can see, I'm going up. Now, some of the stems are going under the scored line, but that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. And I'll just bring this one down a little bit. So you can see I'm doing like a jagged line when I'm stamping it. And we just need one more on the end there. Like that. So just clean off my stamp and my stamping scrub. So you can see how I haven't stamped in a direct line. Some are a little bit higher, some are lower. Okay. So then we've got that as our base. Now I'm going to do the splatter. Now I'm going to do that in rose red, but I'm most probably going to stamp it off a little bit because I think it might be a bit strong against the sweet sugar plum. Yeah, stamp off. So then, and there's really no wrong or right way where you're doing your splatters. It's just up to you really. I love the splatters. It can hide a multitude of wrong mistakes. I'll just do that. I think that will do with that one. So I'll just clean that one off. Just close that one. And then we're just going to take the little flower, and disappeared on me. I'm just going to take that, get some Marina Mist, and just see how strong that is. That's all right. So we're just going to stamp these just wherever we want really. I don't want them in a direct line with each other. Oh, that one didn't stamp very well. Didn't add enough pressure. And you could stamp a couple off so that that will do with that. So just pop that over there. Then we're going to use a blender pen, and very quickly, using a sweet sugar plum, we're going to just colour in our flowers. Now I've just got my paper towel there just in case I need it to get the colour off. Now it's not precise colouring. Sometimes I'll just squeeze that. So I can use the puddle, or I can go directly onto the pad and onto the flower. We'll just see how I go. And I'm just not being really fussy with my colouring. I'm just adding a little bit of colour to all these little flowers. This is very easy colouring. There's no preciseness in it. I am going a lot faster than I normally would because I'm doing a tutorial for you, and I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me colour all these flowers. But it is it is a very easy technique, and it's a very easy way, just using one blender pen, because when you have finished using one colour and you're going into another colour, you just simply wipe, I will show you, but you just simply scribble a little bit with your blender pen and then go into your next colour. So you can see that I'm colouring very fast, not like I normally would. Plus I'm conscious of how long the video is going too, so, but so I'm showing you how to make this box, I promise I am, but I'm also showing you just a bit of a quick colouring technique at the same time that I used when I stamped this stamp set onto my box. Now don't worry too much if you happen to accidentally go out of the lines. I mean, it's good if we don't, but it's no panic if we do. So just do these. So I'm hardly touching that when I'm colouring, and I'm not re-inking every time. As long as I've still got some colour on my blender pen, I'm just going to the next petal. Because you can always add a bit more colour, but as I tell you every time, you can't take colour off. And I think having those splatters does add a bit of dimension to your card and a bit of interest. It's not clean and simple, but it's just so easy. It is a lovely set, this Touches of Texture set. And I will leave all the links at the bottom of this tutorial to my online store, to my blog, and also to my business page on Facebook for those of you that would like to have a look. If you go to my blog, you can join my team. If you've ever thought about joining Stampin' Up, I would absolutely love you to join my team. We have so much fun. It's hilarious. We just encourage each other in a private group, and it's just, we just learn from each other, because you'll find that, you know, we're all at different levels of our crafting world, and it's just really great that we can support each other and learn from each other. So if you've ever thought of joining, please go to my blog, and on the left hand side it will say join my team. You just click on that and it'll take you through the prompts. And just so you know, there's no set contract. You don't have to have customers. You can just join to get the wonderful 20% discount off all your own orders, or you might have just one or two friends that might want to order a stamp set or something. It all helps you. But I joined as a hobby in October 2014, and in the first year I attained the Mediterranean cruise, which was absolutely unbelievable to do it in the first year. yeah, I just haven't looked back. I don't use any other products anymore except for Stampin' Up. I sold off all my products that weren't Stampin' Up, and I just use completely Stampin' Up products now, and I find it so much better because why I do is because I tend to use all my products now, whereas I had so much different Stampin' Up products, different products I should say. But now that I've just got all Stampin' Up products, I don't have to think about what I'm going to use or put on a tutorial. It's just all Stampin' Up, and I use it so much more. But that's enough of me gabbling on. Now we're nearly finished doing this part. This is the most time consuming. And I'd be taking my time a lot more than if I wasn't doing a tutorial, but I'm just trying to do it as fast as I can. And you can just see how easy it is to colour in these flowers using your blender, literally just using a Stampin' Up blender pen and your ink pads. Now you all would have ink pads. You might have to get a blender pen. They come in a pack of 3. They're not very expensive. And they have a liquid inside them. Yeah, and you don't need a blender pen for every colour you use. You'll see what I mean when I finish using this Sugar Plum colour. I'll show you how easy it is to clean it to go into my next colour, which will be the leaves. So only a couple more petals to go. So we're nearly there, because in nature there's no flower that is the same as another one. So, you know, and it's craft. It's a pretend world. It doesn't have to be serious, or I never take it seriously. I like to show ladies just how easy it is to create with these wonderful products. Just I think about 2 more little flowers to go. And as I say, if you ever want a tutorial on anything, you've only got to request it in the comments below of any of my tutorials, and I will do my best to accommodate you by doing a tutorial. So just one more flower. Thank goodness, you say. The leaves don't take as long because they're just like a couple of little strokes and they're done. So just in that little petal there. So that's coming along. Now to clean it, literally all you're going to do is that. How easy is that? That's all you have to do, and it's done. So we'll just I've just put Sugar Plum ink all over me. Oh, heaven's sakes. I'll just get that off. Now I'm just going to take the Old Olive, and I'm just going to dip literally straight into the ink each time now. Now I'm just going to just quickly do the leaves, and you can see you don't need to ink up every time. For the bigger leaves I would, and then you just go from leaf to leaf until you haven't got any more green on your blending pen. It's so easy. Put a bit of colour on those. Those will be underneath anyway, you won't see those. So my husband's off to work today, so I thought what a great opportunity to come in and get a couple of tutorials done for you. And my cat's behaving himself so far. I usually put him in the bedroom while I'm videoing, but he's sound asleep. I didn't have the heart to move him. So we're just going, you can see how fast it is just to colour these leaves. Like, you hardly need any ink whatsoever when you're doing it with the blender pen. And I must probably be a bit more particular, but I just really wanted to show you this technique because a couple of ladies have been asking me the difference between the Aqua Painter, which has water in the barrel, and the blending pen. So they're two completely different ways of colouring. This is just straight on my very vanilla cardstock as well. It's not on watercolour paper or anything like that. It's just straight on. So you can see yourself how quickly that I'm doing this. And I actually made this box for a class I'm doing tomorrow with some ladies. They're going to be making 2 cards and a box. It's a full day craft day, so they're going to be busy little beavers. I did use the Botanical Builder to make some flowers for the box that I showed you at the beginning of this tutorial. I'm not going to be decorating this one with the flowers. This was just to mainly show you this technique with the blender pen and the ink pads and how to make the box. I'd had a few queries on, you know, if I could do a tutorial on how the box was made. So that will do us for now. So we'll just clean that off like we do very easily. And then I'm just going to bring the rose red back in. And just these little bulbs at the top, I'm just doing like a circular motion. And once again, you don't have to go back into the ink unless you want a deeper colour, which I do need there because it needs to show through those blotches. But see, like this one here, I can just keep colouring. Oh, I just saw there's a petal that I missed. That's okay, no stress. And Just turn it round to make it a bit easier for me to reach that bulb. And it's good to have a couple that are lighter and a couple that are darker as well. Just changes it up a bit for us. So you can see that I didn't re-ink that one, I just went straight to the next bulb. I need a little bit more there. So just remember when you're using the blender pen, like you hardly touch the paper. It is just so easy. Just add a bit of colour there. Something I missed right on the side. I missed a couple of things here, but I'm just going to use the rose red to finish it off so that I'm not wasting your time too much. So you could fiddle with this and you know, do it as, you know, as good as you'd like, but I just wanted to show you just how easy it is. That's about all the colouring we have to do, and so we're just going to clean it off like that. How hard is that? So easy. And you get two ends, one end's thicker than the other. But so we'll just close up the rose red like that, so you can see, turn it around, you can see the pattern there. So what we're going to do then, we scored on the 9-inch side. Oops. Yep. So now we want to score on the other side, which is 8 1/4. So we're going to score at 2, 4, 6 and 8 inches. So just at 2, and then again at 4, then again at 6, and then again at 8, which is just going to leave a real little bit on the end there, which is fine. So then we're going to burnish with our bone folder. We're going to burnish, just fold that really fine edge over. Burnish that down. So you can see why we stamped and coloured first, because those flowers are just going to flow over to each side of your box. And you can see a few of my stalks went underneath the bottom, but that doesn't matter at all. Okay, so then I need to cut the bottom of the box on the score lines up to the first score line that you did, which was the 2-inch one. Now this little piece here, I'm just going to cut completely off and just miter it ever so lightly. These ones just need to be cut right up to that 2-inch score line, that very first 2-inch score line that we did on the 9-inch side. Right, so, and then what we're going to do is, yeah. So on that really, there's a really little piece of side there on the last score line. You just want to add your tear and tape to that last piece. Alright, then I'll just grab some tweezers, and I just find this easier than trying to get it up with my nails. It peels straight off, and then you're just going to line it up right at the top. Now remember, once tear and tape goes down, there's no getting it up. So just line it up as you go down. And like that. So then you're getting the box shape, and then you literally, all you have to do normally I would tear and tape the bottom, but for the video I'm just going to put some snail on it to save a little bit of time, and that forms your box there. So how easy was that? And it's such a pretty way to present some chocolates or a gift inside. Then I'm going to take my piece of sugar plum, which is 6 inches by 6 inches, and all I'm going to do now is score on the 2-inch line on all sides. Okay. Oh, look what I did. I cut it low. Okay. Hang 5. I'm so sorry about that. We'll just quickly cut another piece of cardstock. Hopefully my camera will last to 6 inches. Oh, I tell you, I'm always telling my ladies at class not to do that, and I did it. So on the 2-inch, on the score, I don't know what made me do that. Score, sorry, I'm a little bit out of focus because I'm just trying to get it done before my battery goes on me. 2 inches and 2 inches. Alright. So then we're going to get our scissors and cut on the 2 sides. And I would also normally use tear and tape for this. Now I just fold all these down for you. So they come up like that, comes up like that, comes up like that, comes up like that, and forms your box. So just So I just need, and I'm just going to use tear and tape for quickness. As I say, I wouldn't recommend using tear and tape at all, because when you're doing boxes, because it's not strong enough. You need to use your tear and tape, not your snail. But I'm just doing this so. Then what we're going to do is we're going to sit your box in there, and you're going to be wondering what I'm doing, but trust me, sit your box in there, bring up your sides, wrap that round there, and that's going to glue to there, and then that piece, if I could just see what I'm doing, that piece is up like that, and then the same on this side. You're just going to wrap it round, it's going to hit the glue, and as I said, normally I would do this with tear and tape, and then you're going to bring your last piece up like that, and then that's fitting your box perfectly like that. Okay, then you're going to slide that off, right, and guess what, it's going to fit your box perfectly like that. The easiest way to do a lid. Okay, so that's just such an easy way to do it. I have rushed the lid a bit, and it's not as tidy as I would have liked it to be, but I just know that we're running out of time on the tutorial, so but that's a tip for you how to make that lid. It's just so easy, and you can see as I show you close up how those flowers just flow around. Okay, so that's the box. That's my original one that I did the flowers. So I hope that you'll give it a try, because it is such a fun box and fun to make. So until next time, happy crafting.